DJs.
EA's Need for Speed The Run, a new interesting racing game following the extended series of Need for Speed. I guess it's a nice game overall, but it came out, in my opinion, to cover up the terrible game preceding it, the Need for Speed Undercover. This game, EA gives us a wide variety of places, which makes the game more interesting. However, you are forced to get into places that make the game worse than any other Need for Speed. In this game, you play as a man called Jack, who got into a fight with a mob, and his only way out was winning a race from San Francisco all the way to New York. But what makes the story mode bad as the goal is not clear. I didn't actually figure out what's the main goal. Was it to kill the nemesis or to complete the game? Well, now moving on to the action. This game is the most challenging Need for Speed I've ever played. Handling tight corners on cliffs that you can fall off, and turns that make you slide off, and you almost reset like almost 5 times for every race. They also made the game realistic, as the terrain you're on affects the car's stability. Like in snowy places, for example, your car tends to slide. This gives more challenge to the racers or the gamers that play the game, as it's not an easy game to play. However, the excitement that reached this game is incredible. There are 3 types of races in this game. One that you have to pass a number of drivers, then another mode when it's like a checkpoint race, but with cars as a moving target that you need to pass a limited amount of time. And the last mode, which as in all previous Need for Speed games, which is you against the clock, a checkpoint race that gives us less time in this game. Like it's not like easy as any normal Need for Speed. Traffic is way too much in this game, and when you just touch a vehicle, you reset from your last checkpoint. This is so annoying, as a whole stage, which is like you can play 15 minutes on one stage, then you have to reset once, so you start from the beginning again. They can also reset you when you got off road, but not all the time. So in some roads, you can go like off road for a bit and then you come back. But in some roads, if like you touch the off road place, you have to reset. Moreover, the on foot missions in the story are really bad. Thank God they're short. And you also have to avoid gunfire in a racing game, which is really like not normal. And they also didn't have like a nice on foot missions. They were also boring. And then moving on to cars. This game was a total letdown for me. I bought the game so I can take a look at the Lamborghini Aventador and the Chevrolet Camaro ZL1. And after I finished the story mode a couple of times, I realized that I have to play multiplayer races so I can unlock these cars. I've never in my life like tried playing multiplayer on this game or any Need for Speed, as it's not usual that a guy or a person plays Need for Speed online. It's more than a story mode, then you play another game. So, so I tried then playing some multiplayer matches and it was awful. The multiplayers have a lot of flaws in them. You can fight like the guy in front of you just flying in the air, and then another one which is like in the race, then it goes out, and then the whole race shuts down. So I just gave up and started playing another game. I rate this game a 6.7 due to the bad flow of the story mode and the car choice that's in this game. Although they have a lot of cars in them, but the cars that I wanted were not actually there, so I didn't like the game. But it's a game who are more interested in challenging people, like trying to challenge themselves, and not for people who are more into cars. Personally, I'm a guy who likes cars, so it's not as interesting as any other Need for Speed.
Gets me nervous.